Oh, no. Please, everybody, sit down. We don't have the money yet. You can sit down. Please, sit down. We're here today to combine efforts that we think will be beneficial both to the UH Rainbow Warriors and in that fighting spirit be able to reach out to help our friends, our brothers and sisters, our neighbors in the island neighbors in the Pacific, in the Philippines. What we're announcing today is that with the 50% off tickets that are going to be available for the Army game, for the last game of this football season at the stadium, our home game on November 30th, that for every ticket that's bought for the Army game, there will be a matching $5 donated to the Filipino Community Center Aloha for the Philippines Fund for a maximum up to $20,000. We have anonymous donors who have said that they want to both support the Rainbow Warriors and support our Philippine relief efforts. So again, for every ticket that's bought for the November 30th game, already 50% off, there will be a $5 donation up to $20,000. And that's beginning today, right up until game time. And it's the generosity of these folks who want to support both the Warriors and our friends in the Philippines that make it possible. We will be working with the Consuelo Foundation because we know that they have local representation and capabilities in the Philippines itself to be able to see to it that the donations that are made are properly directed and efficiently spent. Again, the Consuelo Foundation is not only acting as the catalyst and the vehicle for the expenditures to be associated with the donations, but the Consuelo Foundation itself is matching up to $2 million donations that are able to be put together. This is all in coordination with the Consul General of the Philippines, who is also here today, and asking at this time then that John McNamara and Edmund Axon and John Matsuoka and the Consul General, if they might join me up here at the podium and indicate that this is a team effort. It's a team effort to support the Rainbow Warriors, a team effort to support our friends in the Philippines who need our assistance, need our aloha, and are going to need it for some time to come. Speaking for Ben Jay, who cannot be here today, of course, with his injury, and for Chancellor Apple is going to be John McNamara, who is trying to think of what he's going to say right as I introduce him. John.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you, everyone, for being here. Just as a point of reference, I checked with our ticket office. Our current ticket count is 26,500, so that's the figure we're starting at right now, and we're certainly hoping to get to that mark so we can certainly present that $20,000 check. But first of all, mahalo to Governor Abercrombie and his staff for this incredible support of the Philippine relief effort and for developing an initiative that will jointly raise funds for the victims of the typhoon while also helping to boast attendance at UH's final home football game. For the Army contest, as the Governor mentioned, we're offering 50% off available seats in the stadium, and fans will enjoy wonderful ticket savings and have access to great seats. Also, with each ticket sold starting today, again, as mentioned, we'll have a $5 donation up to $20,000. So again, we're just really pleased to be involved in such a wonderful cause. In addition, I want to mention that it is Military Night and Senior Night, which is a rare opportunity for fans to honor the dedicated members of the military while also paying tribute to our senior members of the football team in their final contest as Rainbow Warriors. So we really want to encourage everyone to help support this wonderful initiative. And once again, we'd like to thank the governor for partnering with us on this effort. It certainly demonstrates that UH sporting events can serve not only as showcases of great athleticism and team performance, but also as a means of encouraging generous support and providing recognition for our dedicated public servants whom we owe our very freedom. For the victims in the Philippines, our military, and our senior student athletes, we ask you to buy tickets to the Army game and support these worthwhile groups while enjoying our final home football game of the 2013 season. Thank you very much.
Good work. And for the Philcom Center, Edmund?
Aloha and good afternoon. After watching the news for 2 weeks, I ran out of words to describe the tragedy that happened to the Philippines. All I can say is the Philippines need our help. While we are deeply saddened by this horrific tragedy, we are grateful for the leadership of Governor Neil Abercrombie and John McNamara for making this fundraising drive a reality. This will go a long way. On behalf of my fellow Filipinos here in Hawaii and in the Philippines, thank you, maraming salamat, Governor and John. The Filipino Community Center is the largest community center outside the Philippines, and we've been involved in every disaster relief efforts for the Philippines. But make no mistake about it, this Typhoon Yolanda or Haiyan is huge and will need a lot of resources. Philcom Center always pledged to do careful financial accounting of all the money received by Philcom so that our donors have the confidence that their money were used properly. To achieve this, we are fortunate to partner with Consuelo Foundation as our boots on the ground, as you may, in the Philippines. As you know, Consuelo Foundation is huge here in Hawaii. Their office is in Hawaii, the main office. They have offices in the Philippines and over 100 partners all around the country. Consuelo Foundation also agreed, as Governor mentioned, that they will match dollar for dollar all money received by Philcom Center. And if I may, Governor, I would like to call John to say a few words.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Governor and the Philcom Center and UH Athletics. So, yeah, this is a test of spontaneity because I didn't know if I was going to say anything.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
John, for $2 million, it speaks for itself.
Okay. But it's just an incredible act of compassion and generosity on the part of the state and UH, my old place of employment. And I also want to acknowledge our board chair, Jeff Watanabe, and our board of directors that made this decision to put up the $2 million in the form of match for any contributions coming into Philcom Center. As was mentioned, we have been operating in the Philippines for 25 years. We have over 100 partners all throughout the country. And what we do is we focus on children, the well-being of children and families and women. And we take a kind of a integrated approach, so we build communities. And, the disaster, the typhoon, was incredibly tragic. Loss of thousands of lives, loss of homes and livelihood. But, to kind of turn it into a positive, it's an opportunity for renewal. And there are a lot of issues in the Philippines that pertain to poverty and families. And, so it's an opportunity for us to apply a lot of the things that we already do in terms of psychosocial needs of traumatized families, of housing and livelihoods and economic development. So we're coming together with some very, very committed people in the Philippines, our partners that are credible, that are accountable. And we're going to be involved in the next few years in rebuilding those areas that have been devastated by Haiyan. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Again, I want to emphasize it's Filipino Community Center dash Aloha for Philippines. That's how you should make out your checks. And that's what we like everybody to do. It's wonderful to think about providing clothing or providing goods and so on. But as my friend June Abansay and all of the Filipino and legislative leaders that are collected here have indicated over the past week, that will go for naught if it can't be delivered and delivered in such a way as to make it efficient and effective for the people in need. So we're asking that we deal with this in terms of donations. Again, Filipino Community Center, Aloha for the Philippines. They can be taken to any bank branch, or virtually any bank in the state, and those deposits will work through the Consuelo Foundation, as I indicated, and will be coordinated with the Consul General here in Hawaii, and I take it as a great honor and a privilege to be able to introduce the Consul General at this time in order to say a few words on behalf of the Philippine government and on behalf of Filipinos and friends of Filipinos here in the state of Hawaii. The Consul General Julius Torres.
Thank you very much, Governor Abercrombie, and thank you for the novel project that you have initiated together with the University of Hawaii. And of course, thank you to the Consuelo Foundation for their assistance in this effort. You know, the sheer power of Typhoon Yolanda or Haiyan and the devastation it wrought was truly horrific and awesome. But even more awe-inspiring was the international response to the tragedy that befell Central Philippines. The outpouring of assistance, expressions of support, and prayers from all over the world. It's one of those rare occasions when the term common humanity finds a sterling embodiment. Governments, private corporations, various non-government organizations, civic associations, kababayans, friends of Filipinos, and even those who probably cannot find the Philippines in a map, pitch in to help alleviate the sufferings of the victims of Typhoon Haiyan. Here in Hawaii, the effort was equally tremendous. Our heartfelt mahalo goes out to the state government led by Governor Neil Abercrombie, the city and county of Honolulu, represented by Mayor Kirk Caldwell, to Mayors Alan Arakawa, Billy Kenoy, and Bernard Carvalho, and their constituents, indeed all of the people of this island paradise of Hawaii. Special thanks also to the U.S. Pacific Command, whose leaders had the foresight and decisiveness enabling its humanitarian assistance and disaster relief forces to be in ground zero within 2 days after Haiyan made landfall. Their timely assistance saved lives and averted greater suffering. All of these expressions of solidarity and the material support given by the international community will go a long way in the more difficult struggle still ahead of us. And that is repairing the physical damage wrought by Haiyan and rebuilding the lives of those whose sustenance and livelihood were literally blown away. Even more important are the prayers and other expressions of solidarity with the Filipino people, particularly the victims and their families, as this elevate our morale and strengthen our faith that from the devastation we can rebuild better and stronger lives. For all these, to all of you, we say, maraming salamat po.
Thank you. We're happy to take questions at this point if there are any, and happy to reiterate the details if it's necessary in order for everybody to understand what we're requesting.
You said it was private donors that put forth the money?
Yes. It's not possible by law for, even though the university was quite generous-minded when we came up with the idea of perhaps trying to enhance support for the Rainbow Warriors, for the team, and for the university, that we might contribute a portion of the ticket dollar. to Philippine Relief, which Coach Chow and Ben Jay and everybody associated with the UH was enthusiastic about. It turns out that we can't do that because of legal entanglements. Once the ticket's purchased, it's state money, and we just can't contribute state money without it becoming too complicated. And when supporters of UH Warriors learned of that, they simply came up and said, "Look, we'll match $5 of every ticket sold." Of the ticket price up to $20,000. So I was very, very happy to do. We can do that. though that's a donation then that can be directly contributed to. I'm going to make sure I get my Filipino Community Center - Aloha for Philippines. That's what will happen. So we're hoping that the stadium will be full, and people will be able to have the satisfaction of knowing that they're supporting the team and they're supporting our brothers and sisters in the Philippines.
Governor, your thoughts on the change in leadership at the Health Connector?
Okay. Yeah. Also today, by coincidence, there's going to be a change in the leadership at the Hawaii Health Connector. Well, we're trying to provide insurance for people so that they can meet their health disasters that take place here in Hawaii. As most everybody knows, Hawaii has led the way for decades now in terms of health care coverage, with our employer-based mandated health care coverage going back to 1975. And nonetheless, there are some people in the state who are without insurance. And with the passage of the Affordable Care Act and our desire to actually get insurance to people instead of scoring political points, we are cooperating, the state of Hawaii, through our Health Transformation Coordinator and the Health Connector, which is a private nonprofit corporation set up to incorporate the Affordable Health Care Act. Working together, we hope to see that every person in Hawaii and every business in Hawaii is able to establish health care insurance, both for employees and individuals. That has been led by Coral Andrews to this point. And she tendered her resignation, I think effective in a couple of weeks. And I'm very pleased to say that the board of the Connector, recognizing the close cooperation and support that the state has tried to provide, has asked Tom Masuda, who has been the implementation manager for our healthcare transformation team, to step in as the interim director, and I'm pleased to be able to say we're happy to assist in this, and we think that it will make our cooperation and collaboration even more fruitful, and we expect to be able to move forward on the basis of the foundation that Coral and her team has established to this point.
Given that means even more, as you say, state cooperation in that, do you see a need 6 months from now, a year from now, for the Health Connector to continue under its current structure as opposed to being a state entity?
Oh, well, we'll see how that evolves. I'm confident that we have teams in place that will be able to make all that work. We've got a better foundation, I think, than virtually any other state in the union, and for that matter, on the national level. The folks who've been observing us on the national scene have very high regard for what we're accomplishing at this point. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to what's going on in the mainland. It doesn't have very much to do with us at all. We've got our own, as we have had since 1975, our own approach that's working very, very well. And now it's just a matter of connecting the dots for those who haven't had the opportunity to have health care insurance. And I'm confident that we're going to be able to do that and do it in a way that everyone will be very proud of our ability in Hawaii to act as brothers and sisters to ourselves as well as to our friends in the Philippines. Thank you.
Quick follow-up on Gina's question. What happens if the Health Connector cannot be
Well, the Health Connector is a separate organization from the state, so I can't speculate about that, and I don't. I certainly am going to do everything I can to help it succeed. So and so will everybody working for me and working in our health transformation system. I have a lot of confidence in our folks. Just give everybody a little breathing room. I think the fact that that Tom has been brought into the picture at this point indicates that the board of the Connector, which is the organization that's come about to try to implement the federal side of things, and we want that to succeed. We're not in a contest here. It's complementary. And we want it to succeed because, among other things, we want to maximize the opportunity for federal dollars to be used effectively and efficiently here in Hawaii. So I'm quite confident in our state staff, our state departments, and I'm confident that the board of the Connector, that corporation, will recognize that there's a lot of talent and a lot of good energy and a lot of good advice and counsel that we can give them that I think will help them succeed. Thank you.
This has to do with a state hospital. Do you have any concerns about the safety that are going on right now with the self-defense?
Well, safety is always an issue. Whenever you have people who have mental illness, people who are challenged to serve the public interest by being public employees in an institution where, by definition, you're dealing with ill people, people who are sick, people who have their own challenges, their own demons that they're coming to grips with. So we want to have protocols in place and training in place and facilities that are capable of dealing with those circumstances. So, of course, we're going to pay close attention to that. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Oh, Tom, okay. Did you want to say a word or two? The Chancellor's here. He was traversing. I expect he was traversing the highway. We're rebuilding. We're not repaving. We're rebuilding.
And I can vouch for the fact that work is going on. I really want to thank the governor for taking the initiative and his great staff for really leading us forward here to try to help the Philippines. And the University of Hawaii is incredibly proud to be part of this effort and this ongoing work. And so thank you for the opportunity, Governor. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Good work, John. You guys are terrific. This all came out of the